They say opposites attract, and to attract people to your message, why not incorporate some opposites into it? Or, as the ancients called it, antithesis. The word antithesis comes from the Greek words anti, meaning against, and thesis, meaning position. And with antithesis, you simply set up two contrasting ideas. Here's a great example from Queen Elizabeth I's famous rousing speech to her troops at Tilbury on the south coast of England. I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and of a king of England too. The speech inspired one of the greatest military victories in English history, with the troops successfully defending the country from invasion by the Spanish Armada. Antithesis isn't simply about incorporating two opposite things. For it to work best, those opposites should be syntactically and grammatically parallel. Let's take a look at some examples. Here's an example from that great orator Martin Luther King. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. As you can see, there's a very clear parallelism between live together as brothers and perish together as fools. The whole thing would be much less powerful without that parallelism. For example, if instead he'd said, we must learn to live together as brothers because if we don't, we'll all be fools who perish in unison. That's much less memorable and the whole thing falls flat. A great example of extended antithesis is the opening to A Tale of Two Cities, where Charles Dickens sets out a series of contrasting ideas. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. Notice how every pairing has a parallel structure. The best of times, the worst of times, the age of wisdom, the age of foolishness, the epoch of belief, the epoch of incredulity, and so on. Until that final pairing, where Dickens provides an unexpected twist. Instead of pairing heaven with hell, as we've been led to expect, he ditches the overt parallelism for the other way, as though the word hell is too unmentionable a thing to include in his famous list. Finally, here's another example of antithesis from more recent times. The Friends of the Earth strapline. Think globally, act locally. The famous ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle said that using antithesis made it easier for your audience to understand your argument. He believed that putting two contrary ideas next to each other made it easier for your audience to pick the correct option. Try it out for yourself.